Welcome to All Things Health and Abundance podcast. This is a podcast where we discuss different health related issues and come with real tips and advice. Today you'll be hearing only my voice because this episode is all about yoga and breathing related to issues of impotence and infertility in men. So, as always, take a pen and a paper, and I really recommend to write down all the specific yoga postures and breathing exercises that I am describing here. And that is because they are proven to work. This is the second episode, following the episode with Dr. JJ, where he described how to deal with impotence and infertility in men in a natural way. So, if you want to listen to that, I would really recommend that. So, just go back and look for that episode before you listen to this one. And as I said earlier, this is all about yoga and breathing. So I will be really specific. So if you are a man suffering from infertility and impotence, this is really something you'd like to listen to. But if that's not the case, maybe this would be too boring for you. In my yoga and Ayurveda studies, we focus on eliminating drugs. According to yoga, people who are suffering from impotence and infertility have a blockage of pranic circulation, and prana is the energy of life. This blockage is specifically in the pelvis area, or what we call in yoga, in the root and sacral chakra. In my yoga therapy and Ayurveda studies, we focus on eliminating drugs, heavy metals such as cadmium. You find a lot of cadmium in tobacco. So, as Dr. JJ stated previously, if you are suffering from impotence and infertility, you really need to stop smoking. And it's also really important to avoid volatile organic compounds. Now, we live in a world where this is not that easy to do. So, in order to counter the effects of volatile organic compounds, we recommend vitamin C and E, vitamin B12, zinc citrate, organic selenium, as well as essential fatty acids. But of course, lots of fruit and vegetables are also recommended. Common sources of volatile organic compounds are paints, wood preservatives, sprays that we use to remove bad odors, cleaners and disinfectants, moth repellents, air fresheners. Like you can find it in so many stuff, including dry cleaning actually. So that's why I said it's really difficult to avoid everything, even though I would recommend avoiding as much as possible. And in addition to that, it is really important to be aware of stress and overwork, which can lead to infertility and impotence. So now it's time to get a pen and paper and write down the program that is specific for this. I'm starting with describing the yoga program. Nevertheless, I'm not going into details describing each posture, how to get into the posture, how to get out of the posture. Otherwise, this episode would be too boring and too long. What I recommend is to actually write down all the different positions, the yoga postures, and you can just find them online. Find an instructor on YouTube, for example, that is performing that yoga posture. You can hold these yoga postures for as long as you can. I recommend to hold them for at least 1 minute. Nevertheless, I understand that if you have never practiced yoga before, it would be pretty difficult to hold these postures for a minute. So start wherever you are and don't go over 70% of your capability. We don't want to get hurt, right? And you will see that the more you practice, the easier it will be to hold the postures for a longer time. So the program, pen and paper, it's 12 rounds of sun salutation. You can do the hatha version of sun salutation, the ashtanga version of sun salutation, sun salutation 1 or 2, it's up to you. Then striking cobra pose, cat-cow pose, Supta Vairasana, reclining thunderbolt. Maybe this is a bit difficult, but see what you can do. Camel pose, standing forward bend, cobra and locust. Locust, you can't hold it for a minute. If you reach 15 seconds is pretty good. Sitting forward fold, shoulder stand, maybe 30 seconds if you reach there. The same for dynamic flow pose. Fish pose, say maybe 15 seconds here. Cow face pose, I love this posture, and this you can hold for a minute when you get to that point, of course, or even more. Bridge pose, the wheel, definitely not a minute here, the split, if you can, of course, and Bhadrasana, the throne pose. So these are the different positions. If you didn't manage to write down all the positions, you can find them in the transcript below. So now let's go to the bandhas. I actually believe that even though yoga is really important, the bandhas are even more important. Basically, all the three main bandhas are recommended: Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, and Jailanda Bandha. I will be describing these bandhas. Nevertheless, I still recommend to go on YouTube and find a teacher that performs the bandha. It is the easiest way to learn how to do it. Starting with Mula Bandha, it's important for all these three bandhas to sit comfortably in a chair, on a cushion. If you can sit in any sitting yoga posture, is even better. So relax your shoulders and jaw and bring awareness to your breath. As you inhale, begin to contract and lift the muscles of your pelvic floor. While breathing slowly, draw your pelvic floor muscles up for a count of 5. What I do sometimes when I practice this mudra, because it is valid for both males and females, is that I imagine an elevator rising up one floor with each number. So 1, it goes up, 2, it goes up, and so on until you count to 5. Then you hold this for up to 10 seconds. But of course, you can start by holding for 3 seconds, and then you can build up to 10 seconds, and over time, you can even increase. And slowly exhale to a count of 5, lowering the pelvic floor with each count until you are completely relaxed. Now going to Uddiyana Bandha. Uddiyana Bandha you can do standing or sitting in the previous position. Inhale deeply through your nose and then exhale completely. And then pull in your belly as much as possible. Once you have pulled your belly in, start pulling it up into the rib cage. Do not inhale. Hold this for as much as you can, and then you can release. You can go back to a normal breathing. This should feel like kind of a vacuum behind the breastbone or sternum, and it should feel like you are pressing your organs towards the spine. And now throat lock or Jalanda Bandha. This is the lock in your throat. That's why, of course, it's called throat lock. You place your hands on your knees so you can be sitting and inhale so your lungs are about 2/3 full, and then retain your breath. Drop your chin down and draw it back closer to your chest, making a double chin. At the same time, lift your sternum towards your chin. As your chin drops toward your sternum with breath exhaled, swallow. This will help to activate this bandha. Relax your shoulders away from your ears and enjoy the stillness. And hold it for as long as you can. So these are the three main bandhas. So now we go to Vajroli mudra. So you can start with a sitting posture, and while breathing normally, bring your attention to the pubic area through which the root of the penis is attached. Now, with an exhalation, start pulling the muscles of the pubic region, or more precisely, the root of the penis, back and upwards to the navel. Your lower belly would also come back with this pull, and that's fine. Hold this pull as per your ease and then release it. This is one count. I actually advise 15 to 20 counts. So this is the Vajroli mudra. Another thing that is really recommended is Jala neti. So cleansing your nostrils at least once a week with saline water. It sounds a bit strange at first, but it is no big deal once you are used to it. You can prepare saline water by mixing 1 teaspoon of salt to 1 liter of lukewarm water. You can sit or squat or just stand. Very often I do it standing over the sink. Put the saline water into the neti pot, then place the spout of the pot into one of the nostrils. You could start with the left nostril. Make sure to have your mouth open because you need to breathe. You will see the water coming out from the opposite nostril. It's nothing more than that. I know it sounds complicated. Oh my god, I'm putting something in my nose, the water will come out, and it might feel a bit uncomfortable at first, but I mean, isn't it worth it if it actually helps to cure infertility and impotence? And now we are going to pranayama, breathing exercises. What is recommended is Nadi Shodhana, Bastrika, and Surya Veda, the right nostril breathing. I will be explaining how to perform all the three pranayamas. Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing, is exactly that. You breathe with one nostril at a time. Sit comfortably, preferably in a yoga posture, in a sitting yoga posture, if not on a chair or a couch or anything. But what is important is to have your spine straight and erect. Place your left hand on the left knee, preferably on chin mudra, which means connecting index finger with the thumb. Place the tip of the index finger and middle finger of the right hand in between the eyebrows, the ring finger and little finger on the left nostril, and the thumb on the right nostril. We'll use the ring finger and little finger to open or close the left nostril and thumb for the right nostril. So press your thumb down on the right nostril and breathe out gently through the left nostril. Now breathe in from the left nostril and then press the left nostril gently with the ring finger and little finger. Removing the right thumb from the right nostril, breathe out from the right. Breathe in from the right nostril and exhale from the left. You have at this point completed one round. So basically, you breathe from the left nostril, closing the right. Then you close the left, open the right nostril with your finger, and breathe out. Then you breathe in again from the right, close the right, breathe out from the left, breathe in from the left, close the left, breathe out from the right, breathe in from the right, close the right, breathe out from the left, and so on. The very last time, I recommend you to breathe out from the left nostril. And now we go to Bhastrika Pranayama. Bhastrika Pranayama is about breathing in and out forcefully, always through the nose, without any strain. We don't want to push ourselves to our limit. So take in a deep breath and breathe out forcefully through the nose. Immediately, breathe in with the same force. Inhale and exhale repeatedly, deeply, and thoroughly, using the diaphragmatic muscles with vigor. So basically, it shouldn't be a shallow breath that is on the surface, just on the level of the lungs. You should really feel your abdomen expanding and contracting with every exhalation and inhalation. This is all about Bhastrika, and we come to the last pranayama, the right nostril breathing. If it is really hot, so temperatures 25 and above, I would recommend you to avoid this pranayama. Otherwise, this pranayama is really good in cold weather. Sit again in a comfortable seated position with straight spine and neck. Close your eyes and focus on the third eye, so the point between your eyebrows. Become aware of your breath and proceed to breathe for several counts deeply, allowing the air to fill your lungs. Using the right hand, block the left nostril with the ring finger. Inhale slowly and deeply through the right nostril. Retain the breath for a few seconds. Nevertheless, you never retain the breath if you experience hypertension or high blood pressure. Then open the left nostril, close the right nostril with the thumb, and exhale slowly. So that's it. So this is basically the program for impotence and infertility. Now it's your turn. Let us know what health and abundance subjects you want us to cover in the future. Do that by commenting on the post on Instagram. Thank you so much for listening. If you liked it, please leave a review at podchaser.com. Just search for the podcast and write a good review. If you have questions, please do let me know on Instagram. In the next episode, we'll be talking about depression and Joana will be again on call. And remember, you are always creating your health and abundance. What do you choose to create today?